Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And I want you to help me welcome Colleen, the Cool Crone, and Cleo the Seer, to the show as we discuss kitchen table issues, a political discussion on all things kitchen table-y. So, hi, ladies.
Hi. How are you?
I am well, and you?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, Marina. Hi.
Hey. So, what's the weather like in your neck of the woods? Is it still cold? Is it getting better?
Where I'm at, it's such a weird day. It started out kind of sunny and nice and mild. Then it started raining a little bit. Then all of a sudden I took the dog out and it was sort of raining, brought the dog back in, turned around, and it was just a downpour, a little bit of hail and just buckets of rain for maybe about 20 minutes. And now it's like nothing. It's like that never happened. It's all cleared up. So it's weird weather.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we had that day yesterday too. I mean, we just had the weird weather. It was a little cool in the morning, and then it started to rain. By the time I left work, it was just buckets and buckets. And then this morning again, buckets and buckets and buckets. And now it kind of cleared off. But the thing that's kind of depressing me is that how cold it is. I don't want to be cold. It's spring. I want to be warm.
Yeah, it's cold here also. It's in like the 40s.
Yeah. Like I got my short sleeves on. I want to be warm,
Well, I mean, in the daytime, it's more like in the 50s, getting closer to 60. But I guess this weekend for Easter, it's supposed to be fairly nice in the 60s. But we're having a hard time. Well, Seattle always does have a hard time getting into spring and summer weather.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
I was telling Colleen it has started snowing. I can see little flakes. So they're calling for snow in our area. So we do have a little bit of snow falling, which excuse me, I don't like. The dog loves it. She thinks this is just, oh my God, the best days ever. So what can you do? What can you do? So want to let everyone know that I do have a list of some questions that we can talk about, take a look at, flip some cards on. Now, before I get into that though, I just wanted to find out, Colleen, do you have anything happening over the next little while that you want to highlight?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I have some fun things coming up.
Good.
So, let's see here. Yeah, because we're coming up on a new month, so we have all sorts of new fun stuff that's happening. So, this Friday, well, tomorrow, we have the Cool Crone Oracle coming up. Yay! So that's fun. And Saturday, we're doing a polyterology with friends. And I know Deanne's going to be on with us. Let me see if I can figure out who else is going to be on, because that will be good.
Listen, is tomorrow Cool Crone or is tomorrow polyterology?
Tomorrow is... Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's polyterology. Sorry. That's the polyterology. It's polyterology with, not with Deanne, with you, with Gerald, with Val, and with Cleo.
Yeah. Perfect.
Tomorrow.
Sorry about that. I got a little ahead of myself. And on Sunday, Val and I are going to do part 2 of the interview because we just, as I said, she just let me blab. And so she couldn't get all of her questions in. And then
that's her mistake,
Yeah, that's right. That's why we're doing it again. And then we start over on April 1st with Caffeinated and Unfiltered. And that's enough. There's lots of stuff going on, but that's enough for now.
Perfect. Excellent. And how about you, Cleo?
Well, I'm doing the same thing she's doing. I'm doing the polyterology tomorrow with you and Colleen and Val and Gerald, and this will be fun.
Yeah.
And then Monday, caffeinated and unfiltered. And it should be fun too because it's April Fool's Day, so everybody might want to come to that show and just see what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, the 4th, I have Golden Girls, and it's going to be hosted by Marina.
Nice.
Right?
Yay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Yes, it is. It's me. Listen, if it wasn't for my wall calendar, I wouldn't know what to do when I get up in the morning, honestly. Yeah, it totally rules my life, which is not a bad thing.
Well, and we might want to just mention that the Golden Girls was invented. That show was invented by Marina. So I'm really glad she did that one because we're having such a good time on there.
It is fun.
That is a fun show. That's a fun show to watch too.
Yes.
I mean, that's a really nice show. I'm glad you did it too, Marina.
Thank you. Yes. All right. Just want to quickly say hi to some folks that are in here. So we've got Rhonda Forrest, Eleanor, and Sharon, who are new members.
Nice.
So thank you for being new members. We have also Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, has joined us. Hey, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Louise Fote, who is also a subscriber or a member, sorry. We've got Joe Eliza, Pam Forrest, Lightfoot, hello, Mimi Nee, Froxy Roxy, Barbara Nesper, Rossi, hey Rossi, Jenny Strouch, Maria is receiving abundance, Jeanette M, Christine Brooks, Plucky Heroine, Clarence Field, Linda Bishop, Karina Jabrail, hello. We've got Sherry, a different Sherry, Linda H, who is also a member, Jamie Johnson, who's a member. Oh my gosh, lovely. Lady Leo, Jamie Johnson, who is a member, Song Sin, Rose Blue. Oh my goodness, this is great. Connie B, Bemused Shaman. I like that name. And Hypnicity is here. Artist Liz, Cartomancy Mesquite, hello. And Marie Sutton, Mary Epperson. Oh my God, I don't think I'm going to get to everyone. Christine Books, Annie Hamlet. Oh, there we are. I think I did. So thank you, all of you for joining us. Hope you'll enjoy the discussion. And all righty, let's get her done.
And I think we're all streaming this to our channel. So
yes,
be sure and go to my channel and and watch a little bit of this, please.
Yes, by all means. If you look in the description of the video, you're going to find Colleen's link to her YouTube and Cleo's to her YouTube. So make sure you go over, like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things and whatnot. We'll get our message out to people who really want to hear what we have to say. They just don't know where we are. So yeah, you help them find us. Okay, so listen. Trump is hawking Bibles. So I think we can start off with you've Colleen. You have something?
Sure.
Yes,
I do have something that I want to show everybody.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, while we wait for that, just let it sink in. Donald Trump is hawking Bibles. Okay.
Well, I guess he had a tough time with the tennis shoes. That just kind of faded away, and nobody was buying them. And then the bobbleheads, nobody was interested in that. And oh my, what is this?
Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama sitting having a chat, laughing their you know what off. Because yeah, he's selling Bibles now. I think that is priceless.
Yeah.
That is absolutely priceless. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. It's got to be one of those moments between them where they're just like, can you effing believe this?
Oh yeah. Well, when
I
I first
know.
saw it, that's what I thought as well. Like, what? He's selling Bibles? I don't know. I mean, I guess anybody can publish a Bible? Are they just copying the real Bible and putting their name on it?
Well, the guy who's helping him, I think, is the one who had the access to actually make a book or a Bible. And they've incorporated pieces of the Constitution
Yes.
and another legal document. Oh, the
The Pledge
Declaration
of
of
Allegiance.
Independence.
Declaration of Independence. Yeah.
Into the
Pledge of
Bible.
Allegiance.
Oh, the Pledge of
The
Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh my God. Does it say I pledge allegiance to Donald Trump? Or does it say I pledge
I,
allegiance
I,
to the flag?
I have not researched it enough that I want to know that. And yeah, also included the words to Lee Greenwood's song,
Oh, yes.
God Bless
Yes.
America.
Lest we forget. Yes, that's in there too. And I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of my psychic hit, but I think that Trump is already having somebody redesign the flag to include his face.
Do you know what? I am not shocked and surprised that you would say that. There isn't a part of me that would go, oh no, come on. No, no,
Exactly what
absolutely.
he would do. It's
Yeah.
exactly what he would do. I mean, this is a man who put up a fake poster of him as Time Man of the Year and made a huge portrait of himself of it.
Yes.
Like, he has no shame. No
No,
shame
none.
whatsoever.
None.
None.
Yes.
None.
And Louise Vogt said yes. And the pages stick together.
Yeah, what's
Yes.
that about?
I
Oh, the gold leaf they said around the edge?
yeah, something about the gold leaf. But there is apparently a YouTube video that's available to tell you how to unstick those pages.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Oh, look what synchrony. Yeah.
yeah. Synchrony said the
Oh,
Bible's the
synchrony.
original
I'm
source.
sorry. I butchered
Oh,
it.
that's all right.
Sorry. Go ahead, Marina.
Yeah, for the 20th anniversary of 9/11 a few years ago. And they were sold for $49.99 and got many bad reviews.
Oh,
I
so he had these just left over.
Yeah, probably.
Ugh.
So yeah, Donald took them over and raised the price. Yeah, this is apparently it's not going over very well with a lot of people who have said yes that it's sacrilegious. It assumes the quote unquote Christian Bible, and to the exclusion of all the other faiths, when really the Bible itself the Bible is based on the Torah.
Yeah.
And then the Quran is based on the Bible and the Torah. So, you can't, yeah, nobody has ownership of the Bible, but this is just
No.
absolutely awful for him to
Yeah. It's
It
just
is ridiculous.
so ridiculous.
yeah. Talk about wanting to eat. He would sell pieces of his own mother if he thought he could make a nickel.
Well, yeah, he needs the money. So, yeah, he's going to do all these kind of goofy things. I can't wait to see what the next. I mean, the Bible one though is just like
Hilarious.
for $60.
I know.
Jonathan Phillips, I wonder if he's going to claim he's the author. I think he already has. He already has. But I think he's also, Cleo, I don't know if you know this one, but he's also selling little pieces of his suits.
Suit. Yeah, I'd heard something about that. I'm like, what?
Yes. Yes.
The suit
Yeah.
that he wore when? What was the deal? It was something about a special
Oh,
day.
it's probably not even his suits. They're just taking some old, garbage suit that they found in the, secondhand shop, and they're just chopping it up. But now we know what Don Jr. is doing in his spare time.
But I mean, was it a suit that he went to jail in, or was it a suit?
Supposedly it's the suit that he wore when he turned himself in, when he had his mugshot taken.
I was being facetious. I was just kidding. Oh my
Yeah. Yeah,
And can
I
you
wouldn't
imagine
believe a word of
explaining
it.
that to your friends? Look at this. I got a piece of Donald Trump's suit when he was indicted. What?
Yeah, and you know what? That's right up there with the Trump supporters who have T-shirts that have his mugshot on it, and on the bottom it says "Never surrender."
Which
Could
what
could you
exactly
not
what
see
he
the
did was
irony in that?
surrender.
These are not people who understand the word irony, and they don't ever use it. And if they did, they would mispronounce it, and they would call it irony.
Irony.
They don't know. They're just not. I don't know. One day they're all going to wake up from this cult hypnosis, and they're just gonna. I don't know what. I feel sorry for them for when they do wake up,
I
because
don't think they
I'm
will wake up. That's
I
the
think they
problem.
will. They will.
yeah,
It may take 10 years, but they are going to wake up.
But they
yeah.
have to accept that they were wrong, and they have to accept that they bought into a con man, and then I
Mhm.
don't
Yes.
I don't think they can do it. I just don't
They
think they
will be devastated. They will.
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
once he's passed on, or yeah, once he's passed on and this stuff begins to lose its luster, I mean, so many people have already tried to sort of step into his shoes, as it were, and they cannot. I mean, he
Yep.
is a one of a kind. You got to admit, nobody else is really going to be able to wear that hair. It's just not going to work.
No. No. Now, listen, one of the things that I noticed was when they in one of the articles that I was reading about him, yeah, hawking this Bible, was that they had a picture of him holding this thing up. And I thought, oh my God, somebody went to great length, because it looked like he had a haircut, like his hair was looking better, and it looked like it was a little darker. It like, are you trying to look younger? Are you trying to clean yourself up because you're holding something that's sacred? Like, yeah,
Well, because some of his pictures lately have showed him with totally gray hair.
yes,
And so I thought maybe he did finally kind of let that go. I mean, he's losing his hair and it's thinning out, so he's not able to do that. But yeah, now he's got more of that little boy haircut, which does
yeah,
look a lot better. But
yeah.
who cares?
I know, I know. What can you?
He is.
Hey, Michelle. Yeah,
He is really. We're seeing his decline in real time. It's kind of sad, but then again, I don't care that.
I
Sorry,
know.
I'm sorry. He's just such a maniacal narcissist, and I worked too hard to get over my narcissist, so I'm not about to buy into him. I'm just not.
Yeah, totally,
It's not.
totally.
Well, and we should talk
Absolutely.
about what happened on Monday. That like we talked about this a month ago, and
Yes.
we thought that, like a lot of people thought, that he wouldn't be able to make the 450 plus million
Mm.
dollar thing for an appeal.
And
And
he didn't.
no, and he didn't, but they gave him more time. At first when I saw this, I thought, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong with our judicial system. But they gave him more time to come up with less money now, 175 million instead of 450 million. And we were all waiting for the attorney general to slap tape around all
Yes.
his properties and his buildings and stuff. And of course, that didn't happen. So Monday ended up being a little bit of a bust, and it
Yeah.
didn't go along with what we were saying. But what I am saying now is that we were just ahead of ourselves, that it could still happen. And that 100, I don't think that when the judge said, okay, if you can come up with 175 million, we'll deal with that. And but that doesn't discount that he still owes 450
Yes.
million, and that it's still incurring interest.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
that's
you
right.
know, and he thinks he's gonna win the appeal, and I don't see how. I just don't see how. I mean, they've got it in black and white that he defrauded certain things. Now I've heard other people on the internet, some guy wrote an article about why are they doing this when here he got these loans and he paid them off and the banks made money and the banks were not unhappy with them. So why are we doing this? And I'm thinking, see, this is the kind of mentality. When you
Yes.
sign a contract, you promise that the information that you gave was true, and his was not. And that's what this is about. It's not whether the banks made out okay or if he even paid the loan off. It has nothing to do with that. It has him doing the same thing over and over again for many years, probably for over a decade, in order to get money to make money.
Yep.
So he really made that money fraudulently by saying that his properties were worth more than they were. So
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a criminal. He's just been breaking the law forever. And because of the way he is so devil may care with his paperwork, the IRS, I think, has a pretty good case against him too. So whatever Letitia James doesn't get, they will.
Exactly.
That's what I
So
think.
what I'm also saying is that our predictions a month ago didn't pan out for Monday, but we didn't really, I don't know if we really, in my mind, I was thinking Monday it was going to happen. Now I'm
Yes.
saying we are way ahead of ourselves, and it still can happen. And I think it will happen, but God, he's found ways to draw out every single court case. And, and now there's again questioning the thing about, what's her name? Fani Willis. Somebody's trying to say, well, that should be thrown out. I don't know if it's one of Trump's attorneys or if it's somebody else, but it's one of
it's Trump's attorney that is representing one of the other defendants in the Fani Willis case.
So they're trying to get that thrown out, even though Fani Willis finally made it through 2 months of being her whole life exposed because she had a boyfriend that ends up being on the legal team, the attorney general's team. So they went through, got rid of that guy, took him off, and he left voluntarily, and she's back on it. But now they're trying to say that they shouldn't have it at all, and it's a bogus lawsuit. And I mean,
well, hopefully Judge McAfee will get tough like Judge Mershon and just say, look, you've already put this forth. We've already rejected it. You've been rejected. No, from now on, you can't put any other motions forth unless you ask my permission first and I see what you're going to put in the motion.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to relitigate something that's already been litigated.
And we're not going to allow this trial to be delayed with those. The trial is complicated enough with all these defendants. We do not need this complication at all. So I just found another picture that's really cute that we might want to see. So I'm going to share it just because, shits and giggles and stuff.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm always into a good giggle.
Oh, why won't it let me share?
And yes, Marshawn isn't taking any crap. Yeah.
Okay, and just to remember all of Donald Trump's friends.
Come on.
I think at one point he owned that warehouse.
Probably.
That poor guy.
So,
anyway, there's our good friend Mike hugging a pillow, and
there's something about Giuliani that he's worried that they're going to take his place in Florida.
Oh, poor baby. Maybe he should have thought of that before he was doing all of his shenanigans.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking about with Trump too. I mean, how can they come back and say all this stuff when especially about what happened on Monday, has already been decided that yes, he did in fact defraud the government. He did something illegal that anybody else would have been in big trouble. And you have to post the amount of money that you were sued for or whatever. And now they're just saying, well, no, go ahead. Let's just they're doing like less than a third, I think.
Are you talking about Trump's bond?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bond thing. And so
Just to step back for just a second, the headline for Giuliani says, Rudy Giuliani says forcing him to sell Florida condo could make him join the ranks of the homeless.
Oh.
Oh, poor. Let me get out my tiny violin.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
I'll,
poor
I'll grab some
Rudy.
Kleenex.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor
well, and I
Rudy.
think Donald Trump failed to pay Giuliani.
He
And
did
that's the
for
reason why
years.
we're having so much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, that's a nice guy.
And Trump did have a fundraiser for him, but nobody came.
Amazing. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I did, Cleo, I do agree with you. We could have been off on the timing. I think that the outcome is still going to be the same.
Yeah.
My initial reaction when I heard that, yeah, they gave him an extra 10 days and that it was lowered, it did initially. It felt like a punch to the gut. And I thought, oh, not again. And then I thought, no, wait a minute. They could reduce it to 50 million. He doesn't have the money. It
But
doesn't matter.
he said that he does have
He
175.
always says that.
Yes,
He
he's a
always says that.
billionaire.
He's been saying that for 30 years. He never uses his own money. He uses
So in 10 days,
everybody
this
else's
could come
money.
up again, where we're all excited, sitting on the edge of a chair, waiting for his properties to be seized, and maybe they will.
I think that he is going to lose everything. It feels, anytime that I've done a reading on it, it feels like, yes, he goes, he's not able to come up with anything. Even if he is able to say, no, I've got the money is coming in from wherever. Okay. The DOJ and the IRS should want to know, where's that money coming from? Because we cannot have someone who becomes a politically exposed person. How do you do that? By being beholden to another entity, another government, because they have given you money. So we need to know where the money is coming from. I don't think that he's going to be able to come up with it. I think this was just a delay. And I know that in his mind, he thought that, well, okay, if I can get them to put it off for a few days, I'm going to take Truth Social and it's going to start trading. And it's going to trade really high, and I'm going to be able to sell my shares so that I can become instant billionaire. Well, that's not really the case, because he can't do anything with those shares for 6 months.
Right.
Nobody can do anything with the shares for 6 months. Right. Otherwise, it's stock manipulation. Okay. He could get sort of a deferment or an okay from the board that he could sell a certain amount of his shares, which might very well happen, because the board is very much Trump centered. So he might be able to do that. But what happens to the value of the stock the minute that he starts selling it?
Well, they said this thing the Truth Social may be worth $3.5 billion. How did that happen?
No,
Yeah,
it didn't. It didn't. That's just pie in the sky.
Both of you. No.
You know what? Yeah, I can say that anything that I own has a certain value, and that's the value that I put on it. The real value comes in is when I try to sell it and see how much they're willing to give me for what I think is worth $3 billion.
Exactly.
Knowing that, okay, his shares might on paper look like, oh, billionaire overnight. He's got $6 billion. Well, if I was going to be looking to buy shares that he was selling, and I know he needs the money, am I going to give him top dollar? No, he's going to take whatever I offer him. And if I offer him $10 a share, it's up to you. Take it or leave it. Do you want the money or not? And then what happens to the stock? It tanks.
Yeah.
So I think that he thought by being able to buy those extra days that that's what it was going to do. He's going to be able to take the money out of Truth Social, and it's all going to be great, and he's going to be able to pay all those. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have it. I honestly, it feels to me like if a trip around the world was a nickel, he doesn't have enough to raise a down payment right now.
I'm going to agree with you. I wish I would have read this Wikipedia article about Truth Social before I came on air, because they are spilling the tea.
Yeah.
One of the things that people were saying about one of the reasons he's so panicked about selling his properties is not that he has big sentimental attachment to his properties, but they're all mortgaged to the hilt. He doesn't
Yes.
really own much, so he can't garner, even if he did second, third, fourth mortgages on these, he can't get any money out of them because he's so in hock on all
Exactly.
of them. And then this one was saying that, yeah, Truth Social too ran into some financial problems in 2021. And at that point in time, where is that thing about Russia? Russian finance. According to The Guardian, in December 2021, 2 loans totaling $8 million were paid to Trump media from obscure Putin-connected entities as the company was on the brink of collapse. Now, if that's true, then they own most of Truth Social.
Yes.
And Trump
Wow.
is just the go-between. So
Yeah.
even and think about it, who would be on his board of directors? Well, if he had his way, it would be Eric and Don Jr. And I don't think he can get Ivanka to do that, but he probably has Tiffany in name and Barron in name as
Yeah.
seats on the board. So he could possibly get the board to agree to let him take some money out of the company.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's going to tank if he does
Yeah.
that, because he's the name that's keeping it afloat. I
Exactly.
think he's really in trouble. I think he's in so much trouble. And
Yeah.
I think he is going to lose so much stuff, but it's not tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not far away though.
No, it isn't. That's just it. Yeah. And
Let's
it's
see.
it's going to happen obviously when it's supposed to happen. And there's still a few more players, I think, that need to be identified. There's still a few people that are kind of hiding underneath rocks, that are hoping that no one shines a light on them. And the more pressure that is put on Trump and people around him, the closer that these folks get to being exposed. When they are all exposed and we know where the cockroaches are hiding, that's when it's all going to come together. So,
Well, and then like some people have pointed out in the chat section here about Eastman, that Eastman has now
yes,
been disbarred in California.
Disbarred in
yes,
California. It'll take 3 days to go into effect, but he is
yeah,
disbarred.
And
yeah,
then Joe Elijah on here says, fun fact, when Trump is convicted in the New York hush money case, he will have a conviction. This means he will be unable to vote in the
Yep.
election.
Yep, that's right. That's right. He won't be
Yeah.
able to vote. That's right.
And you
Yeah.
know what? This is actually, it's quite a lovely segue into one of the other questions that I had. Now, I was reading earlier, Brian Pritchard, who was apparently the vice chair, or is the vice chair of Georgia's Republican Party, claimed in 2020 that the election was stolen. And he was found guilty yesterday by Judge Lisa Boggs of voter fraud, because apparently he voted unlawfully nine times between 2008 and 2010. 9 times. It gets better. He was on probation when he voted illegally or whatnot. He was sentenced to probation, 3 years probation in Pennsylvania in 1996 for felony forgery fraud. So,
Oh,
these are some
Only the best
yeah.
people, Marina.
Only the best.
Trump gets only the best people.
Only the best. Yeah. So he moved from Pennsylvania to Georgia and, yeah, started voting in Georgia. And he did not realize that, as a felon, he couldn't vote. It was just, yeah, it was just one of those things he didn't know. So, you can't blame him. Now, you thought that was good? Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene immediately went on X and called for Pritchard's resignation because it is unacceptable for our party to have a man in leadership who has repeatedly committed voter fraud himself. Hello?
Wow.
Clueless?
Yeah.
Clueless. Yeah. Again, it's the irony. It's the
she doesn't see what her former boss has done with voter fraud.
No,
because she's a real believer. Come on, Cleo.
And it's not the same thing. This guy has now been convicted.
And that guy isn't a former president. It's not the same thing at all.
True.
It's fine. It's fine. Whatever Donald Trump did was legal because he was president.
So, it's not you got to compare apples and apples. It's different. It's different. So I just the length to which these people will go to twist themselves into pretzels is just mind-boggling to me. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
That have you met your leader? He's committed fraud, and he's been convicted of committing fraud. It wasn't voter fraud, but fraud is fraud.
Yeah, and if you count the Sharpie incident, he's also a forger.
Yes, ma'am. And it'll go here and then.
Well, and then he's also, Trump also has these other cases coming up on a civil side of things that doesn't have anything to do with him being president. And I'm just hoping at least one of those where he comes out. Well, they're saying, well, if he was found guilty, I'm talking about the mega people, or at least Republicans. If he was at least found guilty of something, they might not vote for him. But what is not found guilty when you have a fine of $450 million, and also with the the woman E. Jean Carroll. I mean, he was obviously guilty of something if they awarded her $83+ million.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then Stormy Daniels thing's coming up. Isn't that coming up next week?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that is.
And the people who said they weren't going to vote for him, they really are not voting for him, because most of the primaries, even after Nikki Haley dropped out, people still voted for her, and they did everything they could not to vote for Trump. And a lot of them are now, going to probably end up voting for Biden, but who knows? Yeah. But I think that he's done really poorly in the various primaries in the states. But still, you see the polls. I just saw a poll today on MSNBC where he and Biden are neck and neck. And I'm like, what? How? Where are you getting that from? Who? Yeah. Who is making up this 45%? It doesn't. I mean, even some of the things that they were talking about on Midas Touch. And they're saying, oh, yeah. But it wasn't like Ben Meiselas and Michael Popak and Karen Agnifilo, but was the other circle of people. And they were saying, and the polls are saying that they're, that 40% of the people in the country really want to vote for Trump. And I'm thinking, no, they don't. It's not 40%. No. It isn't 40%. It's honestly, I doubt it's even 15%, but that's me.
Yeah. And you know what? And I've said this in the past. I can conduct a poll and get the result that I want
Yeah.
anytime that I want. It's all a matter of how you phrase the question and, more importantly, who you ask.
Yeah.
If you were to interview, let's say, 100 people, and you go to a very red state,
Mm-hmm.
you might get 40 people who, from that red state, who would say, "Oh yeah, no, I'm voting for Trump. Yeah, no, he's my guy." That doesn't mean that 40% of the state. It means that 40% of the people that you chose to participate in this.
Right.
So, don't put too much stock in what the polls have to say, because polls are skewed.
And they're
Polls are
so
skewed.
often wrong. Did we
Yes.
learn nothing from 2022 and that supposed red wave? No, it wasn't even a trickle. Let's
Yes.
remember that, folks. It's
Yes.
just we have built up so much momentum since then towards the blue wave that, it's I
And
can't believe people aren't doing it.
interestingly enough, in that particular primary election that you're talking about, at least in Washington State, every one of the Republican candidates lied, and they still, they lied in their benefit, and they still couldn't get voted. So,
Yeah.
we have all our Democrats right where we want them to be. So yeah, I mean, they just lied and lied, and the Republican Party put all this money
Yes.
behind some people that I thought, what are you thinking about? There's no way in hell this state is going to vote for these people. They're just, and they didn't.
Yeah.
That's when they were trying to oust Patty Murray and some of the others, and Patty Murray had a dead debate with, I can't even remember her name now, that she was running against her. And Patty Murray had to treat her like a child, because this woman was almost crying because, my God, what her husband had been through. And granted, her husband did make a huge sacrifice. He was in the service, and he did end up going blind by being,
Yeah.
involved in a bombing of some kind, I think. And I really felt for the guy, and I felt for her too. But to use that as a campaign slogan, no, it just.
Alabama just elected a Democrat. That's right. They did.
Uh-huh.
And by quite a huge margin, if I'm not mistaken, 25%
Yes.
margin.
Yes, by I think they said, but 25 points.
25 points. Yeah.
25 points. 25 points.
That's huge.
So
that's huge.
Yeah.
The polls are skewed because there's a certain, especially paid for polls, right? I want to find out, how many people like my whatever. So who am I going to ask? Well, I'm going to ask people that I'm pretty sure are going to say, yeah, we like A. Otherwise, what's the point in me asking people who might go against what it is that I'm saying or encouraging, whatever? So yeah, polls don't pay attention to them. The women of the US are quietly gathering. And I absolutely believe what Joe Biden said to the Supreme Court.
Me too.
Is,
Yeah,
very
true.
What they're gonna, look out. The women have had enough.
Yeah, that's so true. And that's going to drive all the elections. Absolutely all of them. But how about Hakeem Jeffries, huh? Republicans only have a 1-seat majority. So,
and his name keeps coming up almost daily now.
You can almost.
He could definitely end up being the speaker. And you got, well, I know that Colleen, at least she has been saying this for quite a while.
A year. I've been saying it for a year.
Yep.
No. 9 months. 9 months.
It looks like it could happen. I can't believe. I mean, if that happens, it's just going to be. It's going to be historical, because it's never happened before.
Because when Kevin McCarthy got elected, we were doing readings on him, and that's when I said, you know what? At some point, so many Republicans will have left Congress for legal reasons, for retirement, for death, for whatever. that before that November election, Hakeem Jeffries will be the speaker. Yeah, I did say it a year ago.
Falling right into place of what you just described.
With,
So
Yeah,
amazing.
totally.
yeah, so
Totally.
true.
And you know, I'm reminded when Buck resigned, and I reminded, yeah, he made a comment at the end which took a couple seconds to register. He was asked a question, and his answer was, "Well, it's not me you got to worry about; it's the other three." So, and this was before Pritchard resigned. So there's possibly two other ones that are just waiting for the most opportune moment to look at some of their fellow Republicans and do something and sit back and say, how do you like me now?
So do you think the three he was referring to were three more that might resign, or like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan, who will never resign?
That's right. No, initially I thought, okay, well, maybe the three that he's talking about were the three that had either already resigned or there was something where it just, I can't remember what the word is. There was three that somehow were not part of the total Republican count for the seats. So it brought their majority down to, I think, 2 seats. And then when Gallagher resigned, I went, oh, that's not what he wasn't counting those people who had already said that they're gone. He's talking about other ones.
Yeah.
3 additional ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you,
So,
it's right around the corner. I'm getting those emails and texts from Hakeem Jeffries like every hour on the hour. Like,
wow.
come on, baby, bring it home.
Perfect.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
Oh, God.
So, okay, let's just a little bit, let's dive back into a little bit of that Trump land just for a second by way of Kari Lake.
Oh, yes.
Who, yeah, she obviously, I know you're laughing. I am too. I am, yeah. As an election denier, Kari Lake had made some comments about Stephen Richer, who is a Republican official, and basically sort of intimidated that he had something to do with either election interference or with the voting count or something, to the point that he started to receive death threats and his family started to receive death threats. So he sued her. And he sued her, saying that her claims hurt him professionally and, led to his family being in danger, and also defamation of character. To which she replied, oh, nay, nay, I have the evidence, I have the tapes, I have this, I have that, let's go to court. Well, apparently the court date was set, and she said, oh, how much money do you want? So, proving once again that, yeah, the Trump political movement has a real problem with truth.
No,
they
definitely.
have such a respect for the truth that they defer to it rarely, if ever.
Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
She is so slimy.
Yes.
I kept seeing little clips of her over on the internet today from various sources, and she
Yes.
actually hugs and kisses Trump. Ooh.
Ooh is right.
God.
Ooh.
It makes me gag just to think about it. Well, his smell, though, it's reported that he's so smelly. Like, how?
Listen, I think, yeah, everybody kind of knows what she is. And yeah, she'll do whatever she has to get herself out there and to, try to make a name for herself. It's not going to work. Stunts like this, where you put someone in physical jeopardy, where you put their family knowingly in physical jeopardy.
Yeah.
And then when you're called to account for it, you go, yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, that's basically what she did. Kind of a
Yeah.
8th grader move.
Yeah. So not,
Amazing.
yeah, anytime that I have tried to read on her, I do get a real slimy feeling. It's like, it's not nice. It's not nice.
Mm-mm. And
So,
she knows all the tricks for the camera because she was a newscaster for years.
yeah.
And she, just like you said, she just will do anything to get in front of the camera and to put her name out there. And she's had her name out there for a little over 2 years now. And it's disgusting. She is a laughing stock. I mean, I don't
Yes.
know what she thinks that she's accomplishing, but she's poorer than she was, unless she's using her campaign funds to pay off richer.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, she's poor, and at least she has a good wardrobe now. They probably paid for all of that and whatever else she
Yeah.
had to have done, her Botox and her hair and her lips and
Wasn't
all
she
that.
something at one point? Wasn't she an elected official of some kind?
Oh, she was a newscaster. Let me see. Maybe you're right. Maybe she was.
I thought she was definitely, and then that's kind of her claim to fame of why she was running for whatever she was running for. I mean, I don't pay a whole lot of attention.
Nope, she just was a former television news anchor, a member of the Republican Party, and a candidate in 2024 for United States Senate. That's all it says.
And endorsed by Donald Trump.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she never has held office.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
according to her, she is the true and right governor of Arizona as we speak.
That's right. Because she said so.
Yeah.
And that's all that you should need.
And she's
That's
a
what she
Republican,
said
and she
so.
wouldn't lie.
Yes. Exactly.
God,
Exactly.
wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah. In other news today was Sam Beckman-Fried, the cryptocurrencies.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the FTX guy. Well, he was sentenced to 25 years by none other than Judge Lewis Kaplan, who we know from E. Jean Carroll fame. And here's the saddest, sickest part is Friedman was trying to argue that he shouldn't do that much time in jail because he's autistic. He's autistic, and that should be a mitigating factor in the sentencing.
God.
So is that what forced him to screw everybody over? Is that he was autistic and so he took advantage of everybody?
He couldn't. It should make him less culpable because being autistic, he didn't fully appreciate maybe the consequences or whatever.
Oh, brother. And so, and all these people that got screwed over, nobody's getting their money back, right?
As far as I know, not too many. I think he defrauded like to the tune of $8 billion. I don't know if any of them
it's a huge, crazy amount of money that he just relieved these people of, and I mean that is just so devastating for I don't know how many hundreds of people lost money in this thing, but it's
a lot. Yeah, and I can tell you, my cousin's son is autistic, and it bothers me to no end that someone would try to use something like that as a way to say, well, I'm not responsible for what I did. That's just disgustingly low.
Well, and somebody in the chat here, Joe Elijah again, she says autism still allows you to know right from wrong.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
So that argument, I'm autistic, so I shouldn't have to do 25 years, which makes that whole statement makes no sense.
Totally. Yeah.
I couldn't find how many people he defrauded, but he defrauded and stole 8 million? $8 million. No. 8 billion.
Billion, that's what we got. Yeah,
Billion.
$8 billion.
$8 billion.
And that's how many people, whoever contributed to that, lost all their money. I mean, it's a horrible thing, a real horrible thing.
Yeah. And yeah, that it just, like I say, it bothered me on so many levels, because I thought, that is just such a low down thing to do. You can't well, anyway, I'm if I keep on going, I'm not going to be very heart centered. So maybe it's best if I just kind of let that one go.
Yeah,
okay. But
exactly.
Yeah, very, 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 very bad. And our friend Rona McDaniel, who was going to NBC, but then isn't on NBC because the on-air personalities, there is a virtual revolt against her going on there. So what do we see in the future for
for her?
Yeah.
I don't know who this is.
So she was the head of she was the chairperson of the RNC, the Republican National Committee. And she was rooted out for the guy from, some southern state and the co-deputy chair of Lara Trump. And so NBC scooped her up, and all the hosts said, nay, we will not work with thee. And so she was on NBC's payroll for, I think it was 1/10 of a Scaramucci.
Yes. Something like that. Yes.
Yeah. 1/10. I think he was 10 days. She was a day. Yeah. So
and she's actually Ronna Romney McDaniel. So she is Mitt Romney's niece. And I'm trying to remember his name, and it is not coming to me. But anyway, one of the news anchors on NBC said, I've got a couple of questions for her. And the first question would be, what did it feel like to have to change your name in order to please someone because they didn't like your uncle? How did you explain that to your children?
That was Lawrence McDonald.
Yes. Thank you.
Or Lawrence O'Donnell. Sorry.
O'Donnell. Yeah.
So what do we think her future is?
Yeah.
Ronna.
So that's the one that stepped down we're trying to read on?
Oh, no, she was forced out.
Yeah, she was forced out by
there was no volunteerism in this whatsoever.
And she was doing an okay job, right?
No. She went on and still deflected, barely answered the questions, not satisfying her interviewers whatsoever, or the viewers whatsoever with her information. She did concede that Joe Biden was the lawful president, but everything else around it, she was tap dancing all over the place.
So and the RNC itself is just about bankrupt, isn't that correct?
Yep.
They are in debt. Well,
I don't see her coming back and participating in anything like this anymore. I mean, no. I don't know how she might have contributed to that bankruptcy or whatever her input was there, that you're saying that she didn't really do much of a job. So she won't be coming back.
No. Trump won't have her back because he needed to have his daughter-in-law in that position.
Exactly.
So she can't go back to the RNC because the other thing was Trump blamed her for the RNC not having any money. in the meantime, she's doing, Donald's bidding, and going on and saying no, the election was stolen, and 2020 there was election interference, and so on and so forth. She did, yeah, like you say, Colleen, she did in the end say, well, no, Joe Biden was, is the president, but the fact was that there was some election interference.
Yes.
So it's kind of like saying, well, so and so is an excellent worker, if you can get them first thing in the morning before they start drinking.
Exactly what it's
so
like.
But isn't the money from the RNC, didn't that go to Donald Trump in the first place? And that's why they don't have the money?
Well, a lot of it, yeah. They stopped paying his legal bills last October.
Yes.
So they say. Well,
No,
and who
they have to declare
the money back up? Is by donations, by wealthy Republicans saying, "Oh, okay, we'll give you this."
Yes.
And now Donald Trump can't lay his hands on it. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, he can, because Lara Trump is in place, and she has said
Exactly.
very boldly, yes, all the money's going to my father-in-law.
Yes.
And you should all want it to go to my father-in-law.
Yes.
Wow.
And just P.S. Lara's new single dropped, I think, today.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go check on Amazon. Maybe I can order it.
Yeah, so she's getting a singing career and a new position and a new job. So hey,
wow,
she's the girl of the moment.
Wow.
Well, I threw some cards on her, on Rana, not on Lara.
Oh, go ahead.
And she's got a lot of girls around her. Girls are not loving her right now. Other women are really pissed off at her because she was given every advantage. She acted the fool. She just did whatever she was told to do, which was foolish because she does have an education and a brain.
Yes.
And she just completely ignored all the signs. And by the time she was in a position to stop certain things, she just didn't. She just kept it to herself. This is my little secret I'm going to keep. She's going to be a sad, sad girl. She's she will find somebody who will hire her for something. It might be her husband, but
maybe.
I can't think of very many people who would trust her after this. And she's gonna take a lot of shit for this, and she's gonna take a lot of shit from other Republican women. They are not happy about the way she acted.
Yep.
She really misrepresented them. And so I think her career has taken a nosedive for quite a while. Maybe like 2027, we'll see her surface again with something positive, but she's going to have a few years of
introspection.
I was going to say scrubbing fireplaces, but yes, sure.
Yeah, that too.
Sure, we'll call it introspection.
Yeah, that too.
I just Cinderella in my mind.
Totally. Okay. Hold on. There was something that I saw here that I wanted to put on there. Oh no, I can't see it now, so it's okay. Yeah, what I got was the 10 of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
This is a burden, and you're going to be judged very harshly for it.
Yeah,
because this wasn't something that happened to you. This was something that you were a willing participant in.
Yeah.
So yeah, you knew exactly what you were doing, and you were trying to manipulate things.
Too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't work out very well for you. Sorry about your luck, but yeah,
I think that she is going to face charges. You got the justice card there. Do you think that there are going to be charges against her?
There might be, because I think what they're going to look at is they're going to look at what happened to the money. Where did the money go? Somebody has to answer for that. You were in charge. It happened on your watch. So explain to me where the money went.
Yeah, I can see them using her as a scapegoat for all of that. For all of that. Yeah.
5 of Cups. Yeah, sweetheart, you done did it to yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think.
Well, and who
Yeah.
is keeping the records of all of this? Was she
Well,
keeping the records?
she was in charge of it all, so she should
Yeah.
have had someone keeping records. Sure. Money
Yeah,
comes in and money goes out. You got to know why. You got to know which hands it passed through.
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And if she
Because
can't,
because every single thing that the RNC does has to do with election laws
oh,
in
Yeah.
every state of the union. So she screwed up. She really
Yep.
screwed up.
Yep. Just thought that she was, Cheeto was going to protect her. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, there is none of that. I know that, we keep telling people, be patient, be patient, be patient. And I'm human. There are days when I go, yeah, right. But yeah.
well, and somebody over here is saying that she was also on that phone call with Trump. Are you guys talking about Georgia, the Atlanta,
No,
Georgia call?
it's a different phone call. It's a phone call
Yeah.
to persuade certain people to become electors.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they were
Okay.
telling them, yeah, just do it. It's okay. If you run into legal problems, we'll pay for your attorneys.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I
Yep.
remember something
So
about that
she's
now.
going to get, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Thank you, Lady Leo. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a hell of a another perfect phone call.
Yes.
Another perfect phone call.
Yeah.
It's not going to be so perfect for
So
her, but
no, not really.
I wonder what Thanksgiving is going to be like at the
Oh,
Romney household this year. Or even Memorial Day is right around the corner. I wonder if they meet for that, you know.
yeah, and maybe they'll take a moment to read a passage out of the Bible, and I wonder if they're going to be using the
The Trump
the
Bible.
Trump Bible, because isn't that what you traditionally do in some homes on Easter? Is you
Well, I
read a
would think
passage
that
from the
Rana would
Bible?
insist on that. You know, she's so tight with the Orange Menace. Yeah,
Yeah,
I I
yeah,
would de rigueur. Yeah.
totally. I oh.
God.
Alrighty. Well, you know what, my darlings, this has been fun. It really has been so much fun. I love chatting with you guys. I love getting your perspective and whatnot. It's always lively discussion and new information.
Yeah,
So
it's fun.
yeah.
Well, there's just so much happening this year that it's just it's too much for me to remember all this stuff. I can't keep it together. But
Yeah. What are we gonna do when the sanity returns?
Read a book. A
relax.
book that's not about politics or history.
Pray,
Yeah.
be happy that divine intervention finally hit, and
Mhm.
we're back on track. Let's hope that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jamie
Yeah.
Johnson came up with the answer about the Bible or the book that they'll be
Oh,
reading. It's the Book of
whoops.
Mormon.
Mormon. Okay, sorry. Yes, the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, we completely missed that because we're
Yes.
not thinking that. Oh
So
boy.
yeah, I can see us in some not too distant date in the future, pulling cards on, okay, are we planting carrots or cauliflower in the garden this year? What did the cards say?
That would be lovely.
Yes, it would. It would.
That would be
Anyway,
lovely.
thank you. Thank you, ladies, for
Yeah, thank
joining me. It was
you.
a lot of fun. And thank you for those of you that joined us in the chat. I think we were at like
Yes, thank you.
250 some at one point. So yay.
Wow.
That's great.
Yay.
That's
And
fantastic.
they're so knowledgeable and so helpful. I love their input.
Yeah.
It really
Yes.
gets me thinking, and in all different directions. And you guys are great over in this chat section.
Yes, agreed, agreed, agreed. It is so helpful when they come up with the little things you can't quite think of, and then they also come up with something you never thought of. So
Exactly.
very nice, all you
Yeah.
chatters. You're
Perfect.
really good.
Yeah, very good. Don't forget to go over to Colleen's channel and Cleo's channel. Do the like, share, and subscribe. check out the membership. There's always fun and good things in being a member. And thank you to those of you that are members. I appreciate it very much. So, alrighty, you guys take care, be good, and we'll do this again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Love you. Mwah.